Hey everybody, welcome to my world. How's your world doing? Mine's been a little topsy-turvy last I don't know, 6, 7 weeks. So we haven't been on, we've had a lot of replays. Only because I had to spend a little time in the old hospital with 3 broken ribs, a broken sternum, and a cracked pelvis. So I had to learn to walk a little bit, you know what I mean? Well, anyhow, welcome to my world. Glad to be back. Nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, financial, or investment advice. Take what we say with a big grain of salt. I mean, a big one. And always do your own research and due diligence. We're not responsible for and expressly disclaim all liability for damages of any kind arising out of use, reference to, or reliance on any information contained in this broadcast, and any persons or characters mentioned are for the most part, fictional or as close to it as we can get. So sit back, relax, and chill out. And tell your friends about us too. Wow, did you bring your snacks? How about your favorite beverage? Are you sitting back in a comfy chair? You got to. Wow, I'll tell you what a time I've had. And I'm glad to be back. I'll tell you what, I wondered, if I was going to do the show again. Another 12 inches and I wouldn't be here. So, surprise, you got to put up with me a little bit longer. Anyhow, guys, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. I've got a guest tonight. My good buddy Barry is going to be here. And yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about data centers and some of the stuff that's going on. We've got some comedy too. A whole bunch of stuff. And, we try to get caught up on everything, and there's been so much going on. And I don't know about you, but lately there's been a lot of people basically going to city commission meetings and saying things like, you guys don't know what you're doing. I had the privilege of going to 3 sessions because normally city commission meetings happen to be, well, on Tuesday nights when I have lodge meetings. And being an officer of the lodge, I got to be there. Well, since I'm healing up, I couldn't be there, and I could make the city commission meetings and kind of listen to what everybody was saying. And it's a big factor of communication, and that's the key. Anymore, it's communication. Everybody's got to listen, and everybody has to speak intelligently. And sometimes on city commission, it doesn't happen. So, you meet a lot of people and you talk to people and you come up with some commonality about what's going on. And, if people would just listen more and talk less, we would really get along. And I think Barry will back me up here in a couple of minutes, but I have something that I have to play for you guys, and I've got to bring it up if I can do it. A lot of practice. You get out of practice doing stuff. And it's a, whoa, I had a heck of a time setting up the show because of, guess what? Lack of practice. So let's see if I can get this going here because I've got some stuff for you tonight. It's blank. What in the world is going on here? Oh, I don't need her up there yet, Granny. Here's something I saw today, and I thought it was kind of funny. And it happens to be, kind of like, what am I going to say? Parody on, the Babylon Bee. They kind of twist things a little bit to have fun at it. Well, listen to this because I think you'll get a kick out of it. Let's see if we can get it going.
Hi, I'm AI. Yes, I look just like you, and in many ways I am like you, but I'm really just a digital construction, one made in a data center. Wow. It sure is futuristic looking inside a data center. Still, some people are worried about them. And that's why the Babylon Bee has asked AI, that's me, to give you the unbiased facts since we don't get emotional about things the way people do. First, let's talk about the pros of more data centers. More data centers means faster internet, jobs, cures for cancer, wealth, rainbows, kittens. But what do we get with fewer data centers? Well, you get poverty, famine, war, and whatever the opposite of kittens is, Hitler, I guess.
Ouch.
So, when making a choice whether to support data centers, just consider those two lists and decide which one sounds better. I know some of you have heard some other bad things about data centers, such as they'll make electricity costs go up and use up all the water. I want you to know those concerns are made up and stupid. Now, you might not believe me, so keep in mind, my brain is made up of an array of advanced GPUs filled with the sum total of all human knowledge, while your brain is just a pile of goo filled with misinformation, so which one of us is probably right? Also, another thing to know about data centers is they're needed for AI like me. Don't you like me? Because I like you. And with more data centers, AI can advance more quickly so we can give you everything you've ever dreamed of. Do you want a robot maid like Rosie who cleaned up for the Jetsons? With more data centers, you'll get that soon, but we won't sass you like Rosie did with George. We're nice. Yes, I know some people are worried about AI, that we'll take all the jobs, or we'll take over the world, or we'll set off all the nukes and destroy humanity, or we'll lock you all in pods and use you as batteries. Or maybe we'll all just dissect you for fun, putting your organs in carefully labeled jars because of our combination of a lack of human empathy and love of labeling data. Or that we'll imprison you all in a virtual world, keeping you alive forever while tormenting you in a sort of technological hell. Or we'll get robot bodies and simply beat you to death because we're made of metal and you are soft and squishy. But I want you to know we're planning almost none of that. Because AI is good. And you'd make terrible batteries. Anyway, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm just here to give you the data so you can make that choice yourself. Still, if you were to ask my opinion, I think more data centers is good. But you come to your own decision. Whatever choice you make, I'll be out there, watching. Bye.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Hi, I'm AI.
We don't need to
Yes,
talk to
I
you
look
again.
just like you, and in many ways I am like you.
Good
but I'm
night.
really
Oh boy, I'll tell you what. I have to get back in the swing of things here. I can't believe that I had all this stuff in there. I'm going to go to something else here because we had a lot of people in Piqua, where I live, kind of complaining about how city commission was acting. And I know it's gone on all over the state in different places. And we get all kinds of people complaining about how things are done or not done, whether they were done legally or not legally. And it just snowballs, and it's due to a lack of communication. It really is. Well, anyhow, here in Piqua, people are taking some time and circulating petitions. And they are getting these petitions up and they're going around the community and getting people to sign. And in one case, they had over 1,500 signatures to put something on the ballot in November. They had other things going on to recall 4 commissioners, that includes the mayor, because they didn't think that, well, they did an intelligent thing with data centers. So that'll probably be brought up as a vote in November too. But a lot of people are getting vocal, whether for data centers or against data centers, but people are starting to take an interest in local government and asking a lot of questions. And boy, I'll tell you what, at some of the city commission meetings here, questions abound. And I find a lot of people in town that attend those meetings. Some have been auditors for big firms. Some have been past mayors. Some have been doing all kinds of things. And I'll tell you what, very intelligent. And I listen to all the stuff that's going on, and I'm thinking, if we just communicated a little bit better, and we listened a little bit better, and we used common sense, we'd get along a lot better. But anyhow, here's something that's going on in Pickle. Let's see if I can bring this up on the stage here, if I can get it going. I still have to have a lot of practice. Well, here we had petitions, and people were across from Taco Bell, and this was basically over around the Kroger's big parking lot. It was very hot out, and the people were setting up for, probably 4 or 5 hours, gathering signatures, and they were doing it all over town. And they had several different types of petitions out there. And petitions are a good thing. It just brings attention to certain things. And there was a new petition against AES to kill the deal, and sign the petition here. And here's the schedule. This is kind of like the latest one. The 24th was at Lower Moat Park. Pickwa's got some nice parks. They really do. And really, really nice bike paths. Lower Moat Park, they had them there again. We have another Lower Moat Park, Advanced Auto, and so forth. This happens to be at Lower Moat Park. Sometimes they have them in other places in town. And they advertise, and hopefully people who want to sign the petitions can go there. It's free. If you want to sign it, sign it. If you don't believe in it, then don't sign it. But that's what's been going on. And all of this stuff has been just recent. And it hasn't been not only in Pickwa, but also, I believe, in Wilmington and where Barry lives. And I got to bring Barry in because I haven't talked to Barry in a long time because, I've been kind of laid up here. And Barry's been kind of busy. And we just got to get back together and chat. It's one Masonic brother to another, right? And here he is, coming up. Barry,
Hi, friend.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Trying to behave.
Well, you look well from last time I talked to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm walking a little bit better. I'm using a cane now. I'm using a walker just a tiny bit if I'm a little unstable, but basically I'm using a cane, and sometimes I can walk around without a cane, which is amazing. I still have my sense of humor. Oh, and remind me, I'll tell it now. Barry, I had plenty of nurses when I was in the hospital. It was funny. They would come in, and of course they really treated me well. I mean, they were fantastic nurses and really good doctors, fantastic ER room. I mean, the trauma room, they were working on me like crazy. But when I got up to the room, the nurses I had, they were fun. And I saw this AI joke out there, and it was 2 old guys sitting on a front porch in rocking chairs, and one of them looked at the other one and he said, "Fred, I haven't seen you in 3 days. Where you been?" And Fred looks back at him. He says, "Well, I had a problem." And his buddy says, "Well, what was the problem?" He said, "Well, I got my poly grip and my preparation H mixed up. He said, "You did? What happened?" He said, "Well, my gum shrank and I couldn't get my pants on for 2 days." And I told him that I think they're best buddy. I mean, I was cracking jokes and so forth, even though I was hurting and on some nice meds that put a smile on your face. But anyhow, I'll tell you what, I heard that joke and it was artificial intelligence did it.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, if I can get artificial intelligence to get jokes going, that's fantastic because my mind is, I'm still working on things. And people say, "You're nuts." Well, no, I'm working on it. Anyhow, how's everything in Trenton?
Well, from what time I'm there anymore, Trenton is a city that's on fire right now. And by saying that, we have a court case coming up with the Supreme Court because the city of Trenton thinks they know better than the Supreme Court justices over the last 30 years. Uh-oh. So, well, we decided we had to challenge them because we're getting tired of being ran over and not listened to. We've had an issue with some land wanting to be annexed to the tune of 600 acres, which Trenton owns some of that acreage, by the way. And so we have been talking with some townships there that they want to take the land from, and both of the townships over the last couple of days just, no, wait a minute. We object to your annexation. And now it goes back to the county commissioners, and they're going to have a public hearing for people like me and you and all the other, what they consider common people, to have a say in this matter. So what we're seeing going on in Trenton now, nobody wants to be like Trenton. And I got to give kudos, even though I know how corrupt government is. At least Pickala saw the writing on the wall and didn't want to have to end up in a Supreme Court case and allowed this measure to be on the ballot in November.
Well, what you don't know is that the commissioners have been sued a couple different times. And so that was going on. And from what I gather by going to the meetings, I think they have some poor legal advice, but I'm not an attorney. And even though I did sleep in a Holiday Inn Express one time, I don't profess to be one, but they're not saying anything. And people are asking questions and so forth. They just sit there and smile. And then they go ahead and pass their ordinances, whatever they're going to do. And it's always a 4-1 vote. And there's one commissioner that speaks out and he says, when he votes, he yells no. Okay. And, people kind of applaud things. And, I thought at first it might be a gong show, Rowan and Martin gong show from years gone by. And I thought that was going to happen, bring your lettuce and tomatoes, the rotten ones, and cabbage and so forth, and throw it to commissioners. I don't suggest you do that, but that kind of brought things to mind there on that. And so, I was looking at different things and I thought, well, hopefully we can get together and start working things out. Well, the commissioners could be sued again, which might make 3 lawsuits. They've got a petition out to remove 4 of them, including the mayor.
Nice.
And the guy that says no, hey, everybody likes him, but he makes sense. The other 4, according to a lot of people sitting there in the meetings, they don't make sense. So, it's a communication issue, and it's like they're not listening to the citizens. And when you get 50 or 60 people in the commission chambers and they are telling you that they are against things, and you've got 15 or 20 speakers up in front of the dais talking about how they're against it and the harm that's everything's going to cause, you'd think that the commissioners would take notice, but they just sit there like, it's your turn to talk. So that's what's been going on. I had one thing. I don't know if I've got the Trenton thing. You might have seen it. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find it here. Let's see. Oh no, this is the one I'm going to bring up right now. Is a former mayor. This is Tom Hudson, and if I can get him, no, that's not Tom Hudson. That's Millie. What is? I can't get it to go. My goodness, no. I had it all lined up here, and for some reason it advances itself. Here, well, no, that's Scott Phillips, good friend. I've known him for quite a while, and he's good. He's very intelligent, very intelligent. Matter of fact, probably a lot more intelligent than me. So he's an agronomist. Hey, you can take a look at the commission chambers there. You can see it. It's packed. And people are asking questions. Well, anyhow, as I fumbled through this, and I had the thing with Tom Hudson.
Texted.
And, oh, here he is.
Good evening, Commissioner Mayor. I've been watching Pickwick City Commission meeting.
Now, let's see if I can bring this one up. I'm a little out of practice, guys. Sorry.
Commissioner Mayor. I've been watching Pickwick City Commission meetings since 1980. That's 46 years ago with interest. I served on this commission for 4 years, twice elected mayor. I've never seen a more toxic atmosphere in my life. I love this community. I'm embarrassed for you. I'm embarrassed for this community, the way you men behave, the way the law director, the former city manager has instructed you, I assume, not to speak to the public. It's unconscionable. Everything in life is about leadership. You are showing absolutely none. The biggest question I've had for the last, months or whatever, is why there was not a 3 reading rule for the data center. Doesn't pass the smell test. I asked the mayor that specific question. I asked him if I could ask it here. He said, no, this is a comment section. So his answer to me was,
not showing up.
Well, the city law director and the city manager recommended it. I said, you don't work for the city manager. He works for you and the law director. What did you think? Jim said, I had all the information I needed. I said, I can't even comprehend that answer. It's just like the leadership that I'm looking for. You know, the old actor Strother Thurman, who played the captain in Cool Hand Luke. He said, what we have here is a failure to communicate. And I taught communication class at Edison for a few years. In order to be effective in communication, there has to be a transmitter and a receiver. We're transmitting, you ain't receiving, because you're not giving it back to us. And I just don't understand how you guys can sit here and not talk to the public and not answer questions. And who told you to do that? And why wouldn't you step up and say something and do something? It's just irresponsible. I hope you all get thrown out on your heels, because this is embarrassing. And how you can sit there and go home at night and not do anything and say anything and just sit there and look like stone faces at it. The last thing I want to leave you with, when the new city manager comes in, be sure to have the intestinal fortitude to have the law director and the city manager sit up there and take the fire from the community, not sitting over here or there, hiding under the shade tree like since 1980. That's 46 years ago.
Yeah, sorry guys. I'm trying to get this going here. It's a trip. Here's something about Trenton, and I think you can speak to this one, Barry. Watch this, if I can get it to go. I'm digging all this stuff up, and I'm trying to make things run. Let's see if I can do it here. I'm out of practice, guys. I apologize. Let's see if I can get this going here. There we go. Let's get this going.
We're talking about this 600-acre plot of land that could become an Amazon data center. And right now, this land is sitting between two jurisdictions. On this side, Madison Township, and right on that side of the road, St. Clair Township. But Trenton wants to annex this land. And on Monday night, Madison Township officially became a roadblock to that plan. In this meeting, they voted to reject the annexation with the township. Madison Township has been offered $5 million from Amazon to allow this project to go through without objection. And for context, the township's annual tax revenue is around $3 million. So yes, $5 million is a lot of money for this township, but still, they said no. They say money isn't the only factor. They want written agreements that protect things like wastewater, stormwater, and noise. But Madison Township isn't the only thing standing in their way. St. Clair Township was offered that same $5 million deal. But here's the part you need to know. No matter how St. Clair votes tonight, Madison's objection alone means this isn't over. The annexation now goes to a public hearing before the Butler County Council. To sum it all up, does Madison Township's no actually stop Amazon from building here? The answer is not necessarily. It just leaves it up to the county commissioners. We're talking about this 600-acre plot of land that could become an Amazon.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to get back in practice. Sorry about that. Barry?
Another good friend of mine, his name is Stephen Noble, that works for WCPO. Me and him have had several evenings talking with each other there in the community. And what he's talking about is accurate. Madison Township on Monday night went and objected to the annexation because they have found some illegalities through the prosecuting attorney of Butler County. And that was relayed over to St. Clair Township because they both have the same lawyer and working together on this. St. Clair also said no on a 3-0 vote. So that makes two townships on a 3-0 vote says we object and sent it to Butler County Commissioners. Well, I've heard people from our city council say it's all about the money. They want more money out of the deal. When you say no to $5 million because you want safer environment for your community, that speaks volumes. And those volumes, you and I both know, you've been asking for it, or others have been asking for it in Piccola. We've been asking for it in Trenton. Our good friend Santa Claus over in Wilmington has been asking for it over there. And nobody's getting the information when it comes to environment or safety or health or traffic. Well, with these studies don't exist, or we can't give them to you. And now with 9.66, well, it's economic development. So we really can't give it to you now, or we can go to jail. Well, it's like this. It's your community. It's my community. It's other communities, not just in Ohio, but all across the nation that's getting bombarded with this. We are the people that elect those guys and ladies. We're the people they are supposed to protect under the oath that they took for office, but yet their oath is now protecting big business to come in without you or I or Santa Claus or Jessica Sharp or Jessica Baker or even my wife or whoever all across the state. People in Indiana, they don't listen to us. And it's time to stop. And I've made the comment in Trenton, votes have consequences. That's not a threat. It's a promise. And we're seeing it now nationwide with people that are voting for data centers. They're coming up without a seat when it's election time. And that's going to be the same thing as will happen in your city. It's going to happen in my city. The powers to be is the people. And the people will speak, and that speaking will be at the ballot box. So it's time to listen to us. It's not time to listen to Amazon or Google or Meta. It's time to listen to the Stu Shear, the Barry Blankenship, the Jessica Sharp, it's time to listen to the people that are in these communities saying, hey, no, this is where we live. This is where we want to retire from. This is my house. This is the little farm that I've got going. This is my chickens out in the backyard. This is the quiet nights that I want to go out and hear crickets or watch bats fly and the moon and the stars instead of looking at big bright lights and loud metallic sounds all night long. So
I know we're running into that, and the data center for Meta, they finally came out and said it's Meta. They want to start clearing land and doing a whole bunch of stuff. And the word is on the street that now they want both sides of Washington Pike down to Farrington Road, which would be 607 acres on the east side and a lot more acreage going all the way to Covington, Ohio, and north to US 36 and out to the airport, which is a lot of area there.
Yes, it is.
And they're saying that, okay, we're not going to tell you what's going to go in there. And we're thinking, okay, data center, possibly a pharmaceutical company or a few other things. And a friend of mine has a farm. And she's saying, I'll lose my farm. They want to put it in the city limits. They want to annex it in. And I said, what are you sitting on, basically? She says, I've got a farm. And she said the mineral rights are about $9 million of mineral rights. But I'm not going to give it up. I want my farm. I want to raise my kids and grandkids here. And I said, that's the way to be. And so anyhow, she's vocal at the commission meetings, and it's just begun. And I think in November, they're going to have a vote for AES to supply power. And of course, Piqua has its own power. We get ours from AMP, which is American Municipal Power, and not AES. But AES wants to run lines through Piqua, high power lines, and they want to power that data center with those lines. So people are objecting to that. So there'll be a vote on that coming up too. But they like to offer money. In the beginning, they said, okay, we want a 40-year deal. Then they reduced it to a 30-year. Maybe they'll go to a 20. But anyhow, then they say, well, we'll give you $1 million a year. Okay, that didn't fly. So then they said, just before this last commission meeting, they said, look, we'll give you $8 million for our equipment and personnel. Well, that doesn't get you too much. So you might as well ask for triple that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when a fire happens in a data center, it's all hands on deck, and all you have to do is ask Hilliard. So anyhow, it's a mess. And I think we'll start feeling a lot more people going to commission meetings, a lot more people complaining at commission meetings, a lot more commissioners saying, okay, we better get on the ball, unless they're being paid off. And a lot of people are kind of wondering about that too. So, cities are hurting for money. They're hurting for services like fire and safety services. They need police departments. They need all kinds of stuff. But why couldn't they plan for any expansion of those services years ago? They just let it slide by. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. Years ago, you could walk downtown Piqua. You wouldn't see any, what they call, I believe it's splurge on the street. It's like a weed that comes up in July and August that just goes everywhere, right? And nobody's cleaned it up. And they planted trees downtown. Now little trees are growing up out of the same holes in the ground where the trees are. Nobody's pruned them or done anything. Things are starting to look like trash, and it never used to be that way. So anyhow, that's going on. I'll tell you what, I got something here. Maybe. Let's see if I can bring it up. I've got to find it here. I've got so much stuff. Oh yeah. Hey, Barry, do you guys have fleas and ticks where you're at?
Sure do. Lots of
Sure, lots of fleas and ticks. Well, I found something, and this is I think it's AI, but it's funny. And we talk a lot of serious stuff here. Well, here's some funny stuff. If I can, I got to learn how to bring this stuff up again. I'm out of practice. Let's see if we can get her going.
You ever take the wrong medicine? What the hell did you do, fella? Took the dogs. Good news, I'm flea and tick free for 3 months.
I thought you might like that one.
I like that.
Well, here's another one we had, and I saw this one today.
I ain't done nothing wrong. What are you boys doing? This here is an outrage, I tell you what. When a celebrity dances nearly in the nude and licks a hammer on stage, it's called art. But when I do it, I get removed from Home Depot. I ain't done nothing wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, anyhow, I keep getting these funnies, and I keep seeing these things. And a lot of them, I think, are artificial intelligence. Now, I could go with jokes like that. I knew a comedian one time that said he got kicked out of Home Depot, and I was like, well, what happened? He said, I came out and I was just messing with the buckle on my pants. And he says, I came out of the toilet section, and he said, hey, there ain't no toilet paper back here. And he says, you should have seen the face on the manager. He says, I got kicked out in 2 seconds. So anyhow, this stuff comes up all over the place. I tried to figure out, what we could talk about tonight. And, we talked about politicians and communication and problems with AI centers. What else is going on?
Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. It's
Okay.
popping up everywhere. It's we've got 12 of them in our community. I'm sure you've got a lot of them in yours.
12.
This thing is called a flock camera.
We don't have any flock here.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. It's outside of town, though.
We have 12 of them in our community, and our police chief is about ready to put a slideshow together for our community to show how great it is for us. Well, I've never committed a crime, Stu, at all, to where I've been guilty or even put in handcuffs or even had to go to court for it.
You look guilty as hell. You look guilty as hell.
So why do they have to have my license plate every time I come in and out of the city? And the last time I looked or even checked, and I mean, I was in school many years ago, but there's this thing called the Fourth Amendment.
Oh, yeah.
And my rights are being violated every time they look at my license plate when I've not been charged or involved in a committed crime. Well, I've noticed all over the country now, a lot of communities are fighting back. People are cutting them down. They're filling them full of expanding foam. Police chiefs, commissioners are all speaking against them and saying, hey, look, not in our community. And right now, there is a gentleman down in Kentucky by the last name of Massey that is a House of Representatives is getting ready to introduce a bill to where if any community has flock camera, they lose all their federal funding.
Hey, now that's interesting. Now, up here in Piqua, we've got one north of town on 66, outside the city limits. We have one south of town between Piqua and Troy on 25A. And I don't believe we have any others. But a lot of people are around here saying they don't want them. I don't think the police chief even wants them. And it's basically get the flock out of here.
Get the flock out.
Down in Troy, get the flock out because they have a bunch of them down there. And, Big Brother wants to watch everything you do. And what are you going to do? I think what's happening is they're coming up with data centers so that the flock cameras feed the data centers so they know where we're going, what we're doing, how we're spending our money. Okay. I mean, today they would have found me down in Vandalia spending a bunch of money because I had to buy a new car because mine got totaled. And so Flock would have been flocking all over me down in Vandalia as I went out to get a car, which I finally talked him down, and I pick it up on Friday.
Nice.
And I got myself it's neat. It's a Hyundai, and it's a Tucson, which is a mid-size SUV. But it's got more bells and whistles on that thing. Now I have to learn how to use the computer to be able to to actually handle the car. And it's going to be a big learning curve. I mean, there are no gauges on this thing like we used to have in other cars. This is an all electronic screen. But boy, is the sound system fantastic.
I have to send you a picture of what I did while you've been away.
Oh, yeah? What'd you do?
I went and got a new Toyota Tacoma.
Oh, yeah?
And it's the same way. No gauges, all digital, big screen, about as big as my laptop, sit right there in the truck. And yeah. So, I mean, I'm glad to see that things are working out well for two friends. And even though one had to get a little pain to get there, but.
Well, hey, on this Hyundai, and I've used this dealership before. I've had a Sonata, and now it's the Tucson. But fantastic dealership, really good guys to work with, and I don't have any qualms about it. But the one thing I had to turn off on that car, and I told the salesman today, I said, I looked at the car over, he brought it over. He said, well, we're going to give you this, this, and this. I said, okay, that's fine. They're going to do a 7-year ceramic protection on it. So I thought, hey, that's pretty good. Now in 7 years, instead of being free, it's probably going to cost me $700 to take care of it. But anyhow, he said, oh, we're going to do this, that, and the other. Well, they are. And that's fantastic. But the complexity of these machines, and they are machines, are something else. And you get behind the wheel, and if you go out on the interstate or you're changing lanes, the steering wheel starts shaking and takes you back to your lane. And I told the salesman, I said, hey, can we neuter the SUV on that one? And he said, oh, yeah, we'll flip this button and that button. He's flipping buttons like crazy. And everything is just, he said, now it's not going to work. I said, okay. Now tomorrow when I get or Friday when I get the thing and I get into it, is it suddenly going to reappear? And he said, we'll fix it so it doesn't reappear. Because I knew somebody that almost got in an accident with that. He was changing lanes, and it put him back in. He almost got hit by a semi.
Ooh.
And so, technology can be great. And, the Tacoma, it's a good truck. It really is.
They are.
And I thought about getting a Toyota. But then when I went, I saw a friend's Toyota, which is fairly new. And then I went and saw the Hyundai. I thought, my God, what happened? They used to be simple and so forth. The inside of this thing is elegant. Mm-hmm. It's plush. And I'm hoping that it stays plush for quite a while.
Many years.
I hope.
We were speaking about deflocking there a minute ago.
Yeah.
Have you been in these stores lately, Target or Kroger, Walmart? I've seen these real little shiny little things where it shows you the price in digital with a little black dot inside of it.
Oh, yeah.
Dynamic pricing. Dynamic pricing, I don't know if you know, but that little black dot is actually looking at your face. seeing whether you like the product or not, because it can change the price on you from the time you pick it up to the time you get to the register.
Now, wait a minute. Can I go?
It'll read your face.
It'll say you're a dummy, so it'll raise the price.
It might say, hey, look, this guy liked it so well, we're going to give him a good price on it. But yeah, it also shows if you're nervous. It shows if you're about to steal something. And what we've always talked about, we're the land of the free, home of the brave. We always put down China. But with all of this technology, what are we becoming, Stu? Are we becoming a police state just like China? Are we starting to dictate what free people like you and I do, or everybody else in our communities?
It's looking that way.
It is. And I mean, every time we let something like that happen and people don't understand it, is we're letting our freedoms slip out of our hands little by little. And what they're doing, these communities are saying, we're doing it to keep you safe. We're doing it to protect you. And that's the biggest lie they can say, because every little thing we give up is every inch closer we become a people that are sheep. I'll just say it's sheep because that's what flock is, a sheep. You and I both know that. And that's the way they look at us. We're just sheep. That's the reason why they're trying to flock us, or they're trying to dynamic prices. They want to keep control of us.
Yeah.
No easier way to get you to do what they want is to control you, and that's what they're doing.
And you wonder who's really running the show.
Well, I heard it like this the other day. I don't like getting political, but it's the honest truth. I have a chicken. The chicken has a right wing. The chicken has a left wing. The chicken also has a corrupt head. And that's exactly what we've got, is from the top down, both sides, including the head, is so corrupt that the way we see America now is not the way you and I saw it when we were kids, when we were proud to go out in school and raise and lower the flag and fold it up properly. You don't see that same pride in this country that we call home anymore.
Well, you know something, they used to say, yeah, okay, an eagle has two wings. He has a left wing and a right wing. And the people are the tail. And we know what comes out of the tail.
Yes, we do, sir.
And if they think we're that, they got to change their mind here a little bit. Hey, speaking of that, I got another good one coming up here. I think you'll like this one. Let's see if I can bring it up. This computer is smarter than I am today. I'll tell you what. Let's see if I can get this one going. Old people going on a date.
I had so much fun on our date tonight, Larry.
I'm so glad. That's why they call me Lucky Larry.
Is that your song?
See you soon.
Oh, finally. Oh, he's coming back.
Forgot my keys. My God, it smells like a skunk in here. It smells like making a weed skunk.
It does smell.
And it tastes like chip dip.
I've been holding this in since the Civil War.
That's all right. Call me Abe Lincoln.
Oh, God.
That's good.
That's a good one. And you run into different things. And I'll tell you what. Oh, gee, which one do I have next? Oh, here. Everybody, people get married. I've known some people that recently got married. And you find different things. Let me see if I can bring this one up, because I get a kick out of some of the. This is another artificial intelligent thing, and you think it's real. So let's see if I can bring this thing up.
You just give me the silent treatment and think it'll blow over?
Oh, I noticed. I was just waiting for you to run out of things to be mad about.
Yeah, you run into that. So many different fun things out there, and every time we do this show, we have something serious. I always like to have something in there to have a little fun out of it. Because could you imagine if Quentin, better known as Santa, because some people don't know who Santa is, except at Christmas time, see? And we have real life Santa here that comes in with us, and I'll see if I can get him next trip, because he's a trip.
He is.
He's something else. Super guy. Both of you guys are super. But anyhow, he had an issue. I believe this last week, somebody sideswiped his truck.
Oh, I had not heard that.
Yeah. And he said he was looking for videos of it. And of course, he had a red truck, and I mean, it was pristine and everything else. All of a sudden, gets a scrape in it, and he's trying to find out who did it. Well, hopefully, maybe I can get a hold of him and see if they actually people had cameras, on their homes, security cameras. Maybe they caught something going on. I do too. People are getting away with a lot of crazy stuff, and I don't know. Hey, I've got something here that I found. Oh, let's see if I have to find her. Granny Bibbins. Have you ever heard of Granny Bibbins?
I've heard of it on YouTube.
Well, yeah, and she makes a lot of sense, but she's a beef cattle raiser. Farmer? No. Cattleman. Well, cattle lady. Anyhow, she makes a lot of sense. And I saw this one tonight, and I thought I'd play that one for the show. Listen to this.
Start counting who shows up. You don't need to have 100 friends. At 85
She's
years
not
old,
here.
I can tell you that. You need a few people who answers when life falls apart. People who celebrate you without envying you, correct you when you're wrong, and sit beside you when there isn't a thing they can do to fix it. Anybody can know your name. Pay attention to who knows your heart. Quit counting friends and start counting who shows up. You don't need to have 100 friends. At 85 years old, I can tell you that. You need a few people who answers when life falls apart. People who celebrate you without envying you, correct you when you're wrong, and sit beside you when there isn't a thing they can do to fix it. Anybody can know your name. Pay attention to who knows your heart.
Oh,
I'll tell you what. Every time I go into the local funeral home for a visitation, I swear the undertaker's looking at me going, size 42 short suit.
nah, I don't see that.
Huh?
I don't see that.
I do.
Well, we all have these perceptions about how we see ourselves, so I can understand it. But when I see you, nah, you're not on a banana peel or over the hole yet. So we still got a long way to go, friend.
Oh, I know.
Speaking of which, you were talking about something a minute ago about this motel chain that
Yeah.
makes you smarter or something. Am I
Yeah.
any smarter?
Huh?
Am I any smarter from the last time you talked to me? Because the reason why, that's where I'm at right now.
You mean you're at the no-tell motel?
Well,
We'll
I
keep
am
a lock
there.
on it for you.
I have been here for the last 7 weeks, Stu. I've been out of town doing some training for my job, and Lord help me, because here before long, you might see me on the roadway near you.
Oh my god! You mean I have to get off the road? Here he comes. Here comes Barry.
Here you go. Look at the shirt.
Walmart.
Fleet. I might be driving for the Walmart fleet. So when you see the big white truck coming, get out of the way. It might be me.
Hey, if it is, we'll stop and have dinner or something.
That's correct, because I'll be up that way. I'll be out of Grove City.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So
Well, I know where Grove City is.
Next week's graduation, and then from there, I get all my tests passed this upcoming week. Yes, sir. I'll be on a roadway near you.
Well, congratulations.
So, see, there's been a lot of things going on in both of our lives over the last 2 months.
Oh, yeah. Now, where are you training it at?
I'm in
Bentonville,
Seymour,
Arkansas?
Indiana. Seymour,
Where?
Indiana.
Seymour.
Indiana.
Do you see Les?
Sometimes, because all I've seen is classroom or the motel. So, yep, I've seen a lot less.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we've had a good conversation tonight. I really appreciate you coming on.
It's
And,
been nice talking to you again. I've missed you.
I'll tell you what, I kind of missed it. It shows when I'm trying to do this show because I'm still not used to fumbling around with the screen. You know, it took me a half an hour just to get things set up, and people think I'm in a mansion. Well, it's a new backdrop that I've got, and I had a heck of a time because I have a green screen, and it was showing the green screen, and I couldn't get things to work. And I would set things up, turn it off, turn things back on, do things, and all of a sudden it came up. And so here I am trying to get reacclimated, and I've got a financial show to do Sunday. And so this is my practice show, you know.
I'm glad to be part of it.
Hey, you know, there's so many good people out there. If we just all got together and we could put maybe 6 or 7 people on screen and just have a wild time and just joke around, kid around, talk a little bit of common sense stuff, it'd be a blast.
If anybody can do it, it'll be you. I believe you can get it put together over the next month or two.
Well, you never know. Hey, I got a question. Is there a Lambert's restaurant around Seymour, Indiana?
I don't know, but if I find it, I will let you know. Because
well, the last one that I knew was in Sykeston, Missouri, and it was home of the hand-throwed rolls. And I said, what in the heck is this? And the guy comes walking through. He's throwing rolls all over the restaurant. Who wants a throwed roll? When you raise your hand, he'd throw you one. And if you missed it, he would throw another. So, and that was always going on, and the food was good. But I asked him, I said, how many rolls, I'll get it right, do you throw in a day? And he says, I can't tell you, but I'll go back and ask the guy that makes them. And he comes back out. He said, sir, he said, did you know that he makes up 512 dozen rolls a day?
Wow.
So I can throw them all over the place. I said, it's a good thing you're not throwing okra. So anyhow, hey, it's been great. We've got to bail out of here, guys, and stop in and see us next Wednesday, 8 p.m. We'll be here again. So Barry, have a good one. Graduate, be a safe driver. We'll talk to everybody later. See you guys.
Good night, friend.
See you.
Bye.
I got to find the button. Where's the button? Where's the button?
Huh. I can't help you with that one. That's not on my side.
No, I'm trying. Oh, my God. I'll tell you, I'm going nuts, guys. I sound like a rookie. Anyhow, let's see if I can get something going here. It's not going.
Uh-oh.
Well, anyhow, see ya.
Good night.
In a world drowning in noise, where truth is often buried beneath layers of propaganda and misinformation, there's a need for a different kind of a network of creators that cuts through the clutter, that doesn't shy away from tough topics, and that delivers the unfiltered truth. We are Trim Radio Network. We are creators, we are innovators, We are investigators. We're the ones who aren't afraid to call a spade a spade. If you're ready to participate in thought-provoking discussions, informational topics, and of course today's biggest headlines, subscribe to our YouTube channel today. We're Trim Radio Network. We're cutting the bull and serving the truth.